sitting here with Peter Van Willenswaard at the headquarters of Grim Audio. And today we're primarily going to talk about the PW1 Phono stage, which you helped develop. But first I'm actually interested in a small history of Peter Van Willenswaard. I mean, when did this all start? Who are you and what did you do up until now?
That was when I came back from working in Algeria instead of military service, and then I came home, lived with a few friends, and they had a very shitty music installation system. So I started to find out what would be better, and I thought, well, maybe the amplifier that I need, I can build it myself.
Right.
And I studied the literature and found Otala.
Otala?
Yes, it's a Finnish professor who introduced a special measurement for an unknown distortion at the time. We're speaking of the 1970s.
Yeah.
So I came in contact with John van der Sluis, with whom I started later a hi-fi, high-end magazine in Holland.
Yeah.
And he said, well, use your idea, design an amplifier, and we'll see how it runs. So that's where it started. The high-end magazine has been living operative for, I think, about 10 or 12 years. And sometimes interrupted because of a near breakdown for financial reasons.
Yeah.
Because the magazine was called Audio and Techniek.
Yeah.
You can still find all the articles that we wrote on the internet, if you would like to see what happened. So I saw a lot of equipment at the time, both listened to it with the ears, but also inspected them, measured them, and that was very instructive. Learned a lot.
Yes. Didn't Hans Beekhuis also write for that magazine?
Yes, that was a bit later, but he joined the staff as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was quite famous in the Netherlands, I remember. Yeah.
I still meet people who talk about that time and how they miss the magazine as it was at the time.
Yeah.
But it earned no money because we were too critical versus the importers and the industry.
Yeah, it's hard to be critical and fair and still survive
money.
and make money. I can relate to that. Yeah. So you wrote for Audio and Techniek, designed your own amplifier.
Yeah.
And after that?
Well, in that time, I got to review a tube amplifier, Conrad Johnson. And that was the first tube amplifier that I've held in my hands. And I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what happened to me when I listened to that. So that's when I started to collect all literature on tubes that I could find, and then also built my first preamplifier, including a phono stage.
Yes.
But a phono stage for MC with tubes, that's almost impossible.
Because of the gain you need?
No, because of the noise.
Yeah.
And that's why that's when I tried to find another way to do that, and I came across a very, very silent FET transistor that we still use in the PW1.
Okay.
And I tried all kinds of configurations with it, and the best sounding was the most simple one. Which is a parallel with what happens when you build a tube amplifier. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Less is more.
Yes, less is more.
Yeah. Nice.
So that was my first experience and confrontation with FETs.
You co-founded Grim Audio.
Yes.
And well, beautiful company, I think. Internationally well known now.
Yeah.
But at least up until now, the world associated Grim Audio, I think, with digital audio.
Yeah.
I mean, they have active loudspeakers with complex DSPs, the MU1, MU2, all digital transports and advanced digital technology. And now they made a Phono stage, which is...
Well, I must say I know my way a bit into digital as well. Not in programming and all that sort of thing.
No.
That's too complicated. I never started to try and understand that.
No.
The principle of digital audio and digital circuits I am rather familiar with. And I still know how to, or learned better, to solder S&D parts down to, what is it, 0406? I must say that afterwards I checked the solder connections with a magnifying glass.
There's no shame in that, I think, if you're working that small. Yeah.
But you wonder how Grim Audio came to the product that we're talking about now, PW1.
I was quite surprised.
Yes.
I mean, I get the MU2 because of the market demand.
Yeah.
They have their own loudspeakers. They want just a power amplifier and something that runs the power amplifier. So I get that. But when they introduced the Phono stage, it was like, oh, okay, that's different.
Well, the guilty one is Ilko Grimm. Because in 2017, I think it was, he asked me to start and think about a possible Phono stage for Grim Audio.
Ah, so that's already 8 years ago now.
Yes.
That started quite early.
Yeah.
So we have to blame him.
Yes.
And then you thought...
I'm not guilty.
No. But you did jump into the project.
Yes, and for a very long time I was alone in the project. I tried a few things.
This is your desk, you can work on it.
Most of it I did at home.
Okay, yeah.
I took a look at the different ways you can make a Phono stage. I mean, you can use op amps.
Yeah.
You can use ordinary transistors. You can use FETs. You can use tubes. Tubes, for the moment, within Grim Audio are forbidden. I had to choose from the other possibilities.
Yeah.
And I had been working with FETs before, for myself, trying to imitate, to get close to the sound you get with tubes, but then using FETs.
Yeah.
And I built a FET Phono stage, and that was 25 years ago. And whatever I tried, it didn't want to sound right. I mean, it was okay, but not more than that.
What did it make that it sounded off to you?
I don't know.
It's too bright?
If I had known, I would have improved it.
Yeah, because FETs, by what I know, are fast, linear, low noise.
Yeah, but it's not as simple as that.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I used a configuration which was a bit too complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Not very, but using 2 FETs in one stage instead of 1, as I'm doing now.
Yeah.
But that's not the final explanation why it didn't work at the time. But I really tried everything and I couldn't get it right. So I dropped the subject. And then came Ilko's request, and I considered the various possibilities and in the end decided again to use FETs. But then as simple as possible. It's comparable to what you do when you build or design a tube amplifier.
Yeah.
You have one tube which does something in the circuit you're designing. You have a second tube of a stage further on.
Yeah.
And the thing that I did in the design for the FET amplifier is the same. You have one FET and one FET only. No transistors, nothing else. In the MC stage, there is one FET. In the MM input, there is, of course, an RIAA correction network, and then a second FET, which takes up the amplification again to get to a normal level.
Okay. So you up the level, then do the RIAA correction, and then bump it up again.
You must, because
yeah.
You can't do it differently. You can't start with RIAA correction and then amplify, because then you're hopelessly lost
nanovolts
in the noise.
Okay.
It's impossible.
Yeah. So it sounds very simple, but
yes,
probably it isn't.
No. Because if you do it in this simple way, everything counts.
Yes.
Because you have no correction anywhere.
In the way of no correction?
Like you can use when you can use feedback to correct problems in the circuit.
There's absolutely no feedback, nothing.
Nothing.
Wow. Yeah.
Except for the buffer stage, which is done with an op-amp.
Yeah.
Because if you, the buffer stage serves to get a low impedance at the output to drive cables, etc. You don't want your phono stage to be influenced by the outer world. So you need a blockage. You need a buffer between that and the outer world.
Yes, I get that.
And the best way to do that is with an op-amp.
Yes.
Not just any, like the FETs and all the other components. I listened to various possibilities and selected the best sounding.
Just by ear?
Just by ear.
Yes. Yeah. So that's the part where you do use the ears as the measurement.
Yes. The only thing I kept measuring is not the sound quality, but the noise level should be okay. It should be perfect. I mean, not okay. Okay is not good enough. And also the margins of the input level. What comes from an LP can be 20 dB almost louder than the nominal level that you see in the specs of a cartridge, for instance.
Yeah.
So the nominal spec of an MM cartridge is 5 millivolts. It's given as 5 millivolts. But you can expect 50 millivolts or even 70 millivolts, or in very rare cases 100 millivolts. output, and the input of your phono amp must know how to deal with that. So
I read that
I
on the
measured.
website. I read that on the article. Yes, that the margin is very big. With the,
I never measured distortion at
No?
the PW1. No, they do that here at Grim Audio. I didn't.
Okay, cool. I would think so.
So
but
everything counts,
yeah.
down to the use of resistors,
Yeah.
coupling capacitors. It's very important.
Mhm.
Took a lot of time to get to the right ones for production. I mean, I found in my own collections, built on my experience, a few capacitors which worked very well, but the factories that produced them didn't exist anymore, so we had to find new ones, and that took a lot of time.
Yeah, because how do you select them? I know that capacitors have a huge impact on sound.
Yeah.
But you can't read it from the specs.
No.
It's something different. So how do you select the right ones? I mean, you listen to them?
It's a gut feeling.
Oh, really?
That's where it starts. I mean, you look at the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Some you trust, others you don't. You take a look back at what you have seen from that manufacturer or the preceding manufacturers, what they made. You try to find a similar capacitor, and that gives the various possibilities, and you have to try them out by listening.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Sounds simple, but how many did you try?
I don't remember. Maybe
Loads.
no, something like 4 or 5. But you know, the listening is that it can be done quite quickly.
Yeah, it's true.
If you know what to listen for, if you have enough experience, in fact, the first minute is enough.
I totally agree, but some people won't. You have to live with it and you have to feel it.
Yeah.
Most of the time, if a product is right, you can hear it in 1 minute. That's
the first minute tells me already if
is
it's
it
good
okay?
enough or
Yeah,
not,
yeah, yeah.
and then I switch back to what I had, and then again back to the new one, and then I'm sure, and I stop.
Sounds like a good way to work.
Yeah.
But I was wondering that the name of the PW1 is Phono Wizard.
Yes.
Your company is called Audio Magic.
Yeah.
There's something with sorcery and magic.
Yes.
What makes it so magical? Because there was a quote on the website that says the PW1 has the Peter Van Willenswaard signature sound.
Yes, the name is a joke, of course.
Yes,
too.
I know. That's
PW. You know.
I thought it was Peter Van Willenswaard.
Yeah, but it's also Phono
Wizard.
Wizard. Yes. What makes it magic? I wish I knew.
It just sounds very, very good.
It's where you end up.
Yeah.
By hard work, hard listening, good technical knowledge, the right components, the perfect power supplies, because that's another thing that is very, very important.
Because that's like one of your specialties, that is creating a very good power supply. Because when I interviewed Guido and Ilko here at Grim Audio, they always mention your name in relation to the power supplies they use.
Yes. Again, almost 25 years ago, Guido and I both studied shunt power supply, shunt regulations.
Yes, yes.
And I made my own circuit and he made his own circuit, and we did comparisons and got about the same specification, and both sounded very, very good.
Yeah, yeah.
When I designed the PW1,
Mm-hmm.
I listened to his shunt circuit and my shunt circuit in different stages of the PW1.
Oh, cool.
I even made a switch on one position to be able to choose which one would sound better in that stage.
Nice.
This is how far I went.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is there a big difference in sound?
Yes.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And mine circuit works best in the MC stage.
Yeah.
And Guido's circuit works best in the MM
FM
stage.
stage. Oh, cool.
And I also used his shunts because they are smaller than my shunts for feeding the output op amp.
Yeah. So in terms of real estate in the
and although op amps normally don't need very sophisticated power supplies, in the PW1
they did.
we use it. No risk taken.
Nothing. And can you explain, because I have a faint knowledge on power supplies, but how does a shunt actually work?
The shunt, no, let's start with the series power supply.
Yeah.
It delivers the current that the circuit needs at a certain position. But when the circuit demands more current, you can see it at the input of the series regulator as well. So the variations spread throughout the complete amplifier.
Yeah.
And a shunt amplifier works by setting a stable current locally.
Yeah.
That does not change.
Yeah.
But the circuit where it's connected to may borrow current from the shunt without any consequence
at the
elsewhere
input side.
in the amplifier.
Yeah, Ilko explained it also like some sort of Class A.
Yes, you could say Class A
circuitry.
versus Class
It's easier for me to
B.
understand
Yes.
because I know how that works.
Yeah.
So the current draw is constant, and it delivers either to the object it needs, or it dumps it in heat.
What do you mean by dumps it in?
It if there's too much, it has to dump current somewhere.
Yes. But you have to decide then that it's there's always a standing current.
Yeah.
Always something that goes down to mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't do that, you lose Class A.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's a clever way of designing a power supply.
Yeah.
And there's in the PW1 you use it all over the place.
Yes, but in very many Grim Audio
Yeah.
circuits as well.
Yes, true. Yeah.
And the nice thing about these shunt regulators, if you do them well, is that they have a noise performance which can be up to 60 dB better than the normal ones, you know, the LM 317 or the 78, 7805, or, well, you name them.
Yeah.
And 60 dB is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, and you need that when you make a phono stage because you have to amplify.
Yes, they're so good that in the MC stage I don't need an electrolytic to calm down the power supply.
Really?
It feeds the FET in the MC stage
so
directly.
So that's again less components.
Yes.
Simple.
True.
Yeah. We talked about the shunt power supplies, but what I also noticed is that it's all internal in this.
The entire power supply.
The entire power supply is internally.
The transformer, the mains transformer also.
Yes.
That was a very special design made by Guido Tent combination with Amplimo in the Netherlands.
Oh, they worked along with this.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And this transformer is so good, has so little hum field.
Yeah, stray fields, I think.
Stray fields.
Yeah, yeah.
That you can put it very, very close, almost on top of the MC stage
Wow.
in the amplifier, and there's still no hum.
How?
So, in many phono stages that you see on the market, the power supply is kept aside, apart, at some distance.
Yeah.
And you use extra cables and connectors, etc. This is not necessary in the PW1. So the transformer is integrated in the amplifier itself.
That's really...
And to avoid all risks for other transformers in the environment near to them, like from the preamp line amplifier that you put it next to. We also paid very much attention to the circuit layout to minimize any hum pickup from the surroundings.
Yeah, because I think people need to know that a normal line amplifier amplifies a little bit, or actually attenuates it, but some also boost it. But a phono stage amplifies by 90 dBs sometimes.
Yes, if you look at the amplification which is can be necessary for low frequencies, that can run up to 90 dBs.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which is a lot.
Yeah. So every pickup will be attenuated.
Yes, especially at low frequencies.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you look at the circuit layout, it's really weird to see how the traces on the PCB, on the what you call the PCB?
PCB.
Printed circuit board.
Yeah.
What they look like. Normally you can't see it. You have to open it completely. But normally these are straight lines, not in the PW1.
No, with reason.
With reason.
Okay. For the people, just because I think it's also important to know the way you can use it. I saw a lot of dip switches on the bottom of the device. I think the idea was that you can combine all the capacitance and resistors to the values you need.
Yeah.
So it's very flexible.
Yes.
Are there any cartridges you can't use?
Well, there's one type of cartridge, an optical one.
Oh yeah.
You can't use because it needs its own correction, its own power supply, etc.
Yes.
But the MM or MC cartridges that exist, you can all use them. Even a very, very low output one, like the IO2 from AudioNote, which is only, which is 10 times as low as a normal MC cartridge. So not a half a millivolt, but 50 microvolt.
Wow. So you need to step up for that.
It's you can do it with the PW1 if you say set the MC to 30 dB gain, and it's silent enough.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I have such a cartridge, so I know.
So you know it works. Yes. I thank you very much for this interesting talk.
Okay.
As a vinyl noob, I learned a lot today, and let's listen to it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.